From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Wake up, Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Wake up, morning to you.
Good morning to you on this Wednesday, September 4th. Morning, Barbados. So good to have you with us today, up bright and early and getting ready for the day. Or as the case might be, some people work overnight, so getting ready for bed, whatever you're doing, thanks for tuning in. And we want to say a very special good morning to those of you who are watching from the tri-state area. We know that our New York friends across the diaspora are always tuned in. So great to have you with us on YouTube. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be here with you until 8 o'clock this morning. So we're going to have a good show today. Coming up, the Hawthorne Methodist Church. They're going to be sharing with us a little bit about what they have planned coming up in the next few days. It's a bit of a fundraiser and a little bit of fun as well for you to come out and celebrate with those at the church. We also have a very special personality interview coming up with a young man by the name of Jesse Olton, and he's bringing the entire family along. Why? You have to stay tuned to find out exactly what that is all about. Plus, we are going to be telling you about a big promotion that we're doing, giving you an opportunity to win with us right here on Morning Barbados. And as if that wasn't enough, we are making sure that the little ones are back to school ready. So all that, plus the Human Resources Management Association of Barbados will be in. Nicholas Roberts, the president with the most, I like to call him, he's back today. He had a little bit of a break, but he's coming in today to share with us again. So we look forward to chatting a little bit about your work environment and how employers, along with you, can make it a whole lot better. But earlier this week, we started by telling you all about the drive toward talking a lot more about HPV. We had a young lady in who has made it her mandate to talk a little bit about that. We're going to continue after this break. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, welcome back. Just about 16 minutes after 6 o'clock. Must apologize for the voice. It's going just a little bit, but I'm sure you'll bear with me. So I have two beautiful ladies with me here to talk all about what we were telling you about a few moments ago, HPV self-collection kit. As we mentioned, we talked about it briefly a few days ago. Elena Pinder is marketing manager with Bayview Laboratory. Good to have you back with us. We've had you here before.
Good morning.
As well as Morgan Ford, she's marketing officer with the laboratory. So wonderful to have both of you here this morning as we continue to look at HPV prevention.
Yes.
And we thought it was as good a time as any to talk about it now because the little ones are going back in school, and I know there is that drive for them to get the vaccination as they go into secondary school. So let's start with you, Elena. Talk to us a little bit about HPV, what it is, and why people should be aware.
Okay, so HPV stands for the human papillomavirus, and it is a very common sexually transmitted infection. Mostly when young females, they start to become active, it is almost not saying that it will happen, but there is a possibility that it can happen. So what we are doing is that we are encouraging persons to try to get tested as much as possible because it is not something that has a lot of symptoms, so you could easily have it and you could not know, and there are many various types of it as well. So some are the body can clear it on its own, while others, if left untreated and unmanaged, it can lead to cervical cancer, which is why, testing is so important, as with everything, early detection. So that's what we are trying to achieve with these self-collection kits from the lab.
And, the magic to early detection is really knowledge.
Yes.
Do you find that, Morgan, based on where you sit at the laboratory and all that's happening, that people are as aware as they should be?
Not as aware as they should be, but I think since we have launched these self-collection kits, we have been, a lot of it, like you said, is awareness and education. So every time we speak about it, we are making people aware of HPV. Yes, women know they have to go for their pap smears, they need to go to their gynecologist, but they're not always aware exactly what they're looking for and then what the dangers of these things are. People know about HPV, they don't know much about it, and they don't know that over 90% of cervical cancer cases are linked to HPV.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about this self-collection kit. That most certainly is a game changer. Usually when people think about STIs or things of that nature, they don't necessarily think it might be something they can, start the process at home. So let's talk a little bit about the kit itself.
Okay, so I actually have one here with me this morning. This is our self-collection kit for HPV. And basically it's a vaginal swab. It is painless, it is quick, it is easy. You can buy it from Massey or iMart pharmacies. You can get it directly from us at the lab. And you don't need a prescription or anything like that. You just go over to the pharmacist and say, I would like a self-collection kit, and you purchase it from there. So you take it home, and then basically here is what the swab looks like. Even though it does look a little bit intimidating, you can see a red line which indicates where exactly you need to hold, and basically it's only this amount that you are inserting. So you take it, you do the collection. My colleague here will demonstrate. Okay. So it's very quick, it's very painless, it's very easy. You know, you put it in, you twirl it a little bit around, and then once you are finished, you put it back into the tube. You label it, and then you place it back into the bag. We also have a form that you fill out so that you know exactly, so that we know who the swab belongs to, and then we would take it, you take it to the lab, they test it, and then they give you your results via email. So it's very quick, it's very easy, and basically, you know, we really and truly want to make healthcare as accessible as possible to persons, because, you know, sometimes you're a little hesitant to go to the doctor, and this kind of eliminates that.
Yeah, how do you anticipate this will change in terms of the numbers of people who have knowledge of it? Because one of the things about HPV is it can go undetected for such a long time.
Yes.
So with a lot of the conversations that we've been having, we've had women come to us and say, well, I've been married for 10 years, or I've not been active for a long time. And what we're trying to emphasize is that you could have it for 10 years. Even if you are married, you could have gotten it from your husband. It has nothing to do with, you know, being single or how active you are. It's just something that passes naturally. And the testing for men is not available. So we as women need to take it upon ourselves to test to ensure that we are taking care of our bodies.
Let's rewind and talk a little bit more about the strain of HPV that can develop into cervical cancer and things like that, because as you mentioned, there are different strains. So once you've been exposed, you really don't know if it can get there, but this most certainly can be a bit of a game changer in making sure that you are empowered with the knowledge that you need to be able to take care of yourself.
Indeed, it not only tells you if it is positive, but it tells you what strain of HPV you have. There are many different strains, too many to mention, but basically our test, it detects the 14 high-risk versions, and it are these high-risk versions that, you know, we really and truly pay particular attention to, because these are the ones that can lead to cervical cancer. So again, with testing, you know, persons might come across a lot more positive results, but once you have been diagnosed with HPV, it's not a death sentence or anything like that, because there are some that can be cleared by the body on its own, but, you know, there are others which are, you know, more cancer causing that we just need to pay a little bit more attention to.
All right. I mean, this is excellent stuff. In terms of being able to start on your own at home, I think that's a great place to be able to start. As you mentioned, a lot of people might be a little reluctant.
Yes.
Is there any particular age that people should be a little more open to getting out maybe and doing these swabs, or are there any indicators, or do you recommend that people should just do it across the board to be aware of what's happening?
I would say do it across the board once you have become sexually active, because HPV is often symptomless. So with other STIs, you'll have different symptoms that will indicate that something is wrong. You'll be going along your merry way with no idea. So once you are sexually active, it is important for you to get tested.
All right. And are there any best practices that you'd like to share? Because we still wouldn't want to have a kit with a swab that's contaminated in any way. So your best advice for people who are taking the kit in terms of how they should collect this swab?
Okay, so I mean, you basically will, you know, make sure that your hands are washed and everything before you handle the kit, handle the swab, and, you know, actually go through the process. But once you have collected it, you know, you need to take it to the lab within a 24-hour time frame to ensure that the sample is as viable as possible. and you try to keep it in a cool place. So you don't need to put it in the fridge or the freezer or anything like that, but also don't leave it in the car because, you know, it can help to contaminate the sample. So as soon as you take the sample, try within 12-24 hours to get it to us. Leave it at room temperature in order for it to be as viable as possible. And, you know, just ensure that you're trying to be as safe as possible because, you know, it is something that you want to ensure that the results are viable and that you don't have to do it again.
Yes.
And what's the turnaround time for results?
So the results, you can have the standard results in 5 to 7 days, or if you want quicker results, you can have it in 24 to 48 hours. And we have actually a video that we just released on our Instagram, essentially showing the entire process of how to collect the sample, because we do want to demystify the idea. I know some women are like, oh, I've never done this myself. It's very quick, it's very painless, it's very easy. So we're just trying to put as much information out there to make women comfortable with the self-collection.
And why HPV in particular for this particular way of swabbing?
I think that for us here in Barbados, we have seen a worrying trend where we are seeing a lot more cervical cancer cases. So for us, we wanted to kind of like get to the root of the problem and help persons to identify, because as we have been saying this entire time, it's not something that has symptoms. So you could be going around, you know, and not knowing that you have it. You could not be sexually active and think, okay, I don't need to worry about it. But really and truly, we do want to encourage more widespread testing island-wide, which is why, you know, we thought to focus on HPV for this kit. We also have an STI kit, and that tests for the 4 major STIs, chlamydia, gonorrhea, trichomonas, and mycoplasma. And this is a urine sample, and this can be taken by men. So these are just the first 2 kind of like tests that we have rolled out at the lab. We are going to be rolling out a lot more wider STI testing, a lot more testing for like diabetes, cholesterol, and stuff like that. So just stay tuned to our social media pages where we will broadcast all of our information.
All right, wonderful stuff. You have something else here. I don't know what is it, but...
Oh yes, this is the STI kit.
Okay.
Yes.
So you want to demonstrate? Show us a little bit more.
Yes. So it comes with the same requisition form, and then it comes with a cup where men or women can put their urine sample. You usually take the first urine of the day and you fill it. You fill out your information, fill out the information in the requisition form as well, and send this back to the lab for testing. Similar turnaround time. So you can either have it in 5 days or in 48 hours, depending on what kind of speed you want the results.
All right, what kind of information is in this requisition form?
You know, basic contact information like your name, date of birth, identification number, so that we know who you are, your email address, contact number, if I didn't say that already. So basically, we know who the results belong to, and we know who to send the information to as well.
Is there also, have you seen increased incidence of STIs in Barbados? Do we have any data to support that in any way? Because we know usually STIs are very linked. When we see incidents of certain diseases go up, or cancers and so on, you have some links most of the time.
I would say we do. We would have rolled out these kits late last year, so we are still collecting the data. But what we are doing is to try to encourage persons to come out and get tested so we can collect as much data as possible.
Good stuff. Morgan, what has the response been like generally to the HPV collection kit and the STI collection kit?
So over the past about year now since we've rolled this out, the STI kits have become pretty popular, especially since both men and women can use it. The HPV kits, we've seen a little bit of an uptick, but not as significantly as the STI, which is why we're really on a campaign to promote the HPV testing kits and to explain why we need them. I think, again, a lot of women are like, you know, a vaginal swab on myself doesn't seem like it makes sense, but if you do it in your house comfortably, it's a very easy swab, it's very tiny, and it takes 15 seconds to make sure that you are making sure that you're okay.
Yeah, and I don't know about you ladies, but for me, I have to get psyched up to go to the gynae anyway.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people might think, or there may be some people who, you know, it's like, oh, just something else to do. It certainly is not a chore for me. So I know for this could be, you know, people getting a little more comfortable with finding out more about their body. And I think That's the most important part, where people are far more comfortable with just getting information, which is empowering, being able to have that knowledge they need to be able to make whatever choices they can. I don't know if you want to touch quickly on the difference early detection can make, or just even detection, when you compare what can happen if you leave something like HPV or an STI untreated.
For HPV, for us, I guess the cervical cancer is what is of major concern. So many times you hear of young women, you know, they only find out about their diagnosis when it's too late. So we really just want to let persons know that early detection can help. We can help monitor the process of it. There are certain measures that can be taken to assist with the management of cervical cancer once detected early. Similarly with STIs, if left untreated, it can lead to issues of infertility, issues, you know, where the reproductive organs in general. So really and truly, early detection is very much key to ensuring that, you know, we can manage these diseases as much as possible.
Have we been able to determine through research or otherwise, you know, who the people are who need to test a little bit more? Is it an age thing? Is it down the lines of demographics? Or are we still working on maybe garnering some more information so we can determine who are the precise people that we need to target? Not necessarily in terms of being exposed, but seeking that knowledge, because I know there often is a difference.
Yeah, so difficult medical spaces would say sometimes women in their 40s, sometimes women in their 30s. We are trying to look at a wider scope of women once you become sexually active, because you could be sexually active once and have it. And, you know, people become sexually active at different ages, and even if you're married. So we're trying to get more of a widespread look. And as we do the self-collection kits, we'll get more data on the main age group in Barbados that is requiring some collections. Yeah.
All right, final word from you, Elena, as to why women really should get this particular kit. I love that you've also brought the STI kit. That's an option too. So if you feel like there's something going on and you don't necessarily want to go out to a doctor, or maybe you don't have that money to be able to do that, this could be a great option.
Yeah, so the HPV and the STI kits, we're really trying to make healthcare more accessible. And, you know, it's not something that you need to, you know, think less of yourself because you have these things. You know, it can happen to anybody. So we really and truly want persons to get over that. Come get these kits. They're available from iMart, Massey Pharmacy, directly from us, any of the diagnostic radiology clinics. Get the tests, go home, collect them, bring them to us. So we want persons to remember to regular testing is key to early detection. We are also this month doing an awareness campaign with our friend and social activist, Miss Penny. So we will be at Massey in Sunset Crest on Saturday. We will have both kits there. If you have any additional questions about anything in the process, we will be there from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to answer any questions you have.
All right, absolutely important. Thank you both ladies for coming in and sharing with us a little bit more about these kits. So, you know, just to plant a seed. You know, if you have any questions, you should definitely reach out to Bayview Laboratory if you have any further questions about it, or your primary care physician is definitely the route to go. I think we refer to them more GPs here, general practitioner. So, you know, reach out to your GP if you have any further questions about it. Thank you for your time, as always.
Thank you for having me.
And widely available. And also, they're going to be out and about with Crystal Penny. So we're going to share that information with you as the time comes by too. So we want to make sure that we work toward ending cervical cancer. And this is a great start to it. All right, the time has quickly gone by. Look at that, 27 minutes before 7 o'clock. But we have much more coming up. The HR Association of Barbados, they're coming up and sharing with us. Nicholas Roberts is going to be in, and a whole lot more. So stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, welcome back to Morning Barbados. It's Wednesday already. I mean, the days just go by so quickly. You can hardly tell which day it is and what's happening. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but the days are going by quickly. I think I mentioned this yesterday. I remember the days when the first week of September used to be back to school. Things have changed. Now the children are going back out on the 16th, and we're going to make sure that they are absolutely prepared here on Morning Barbados. We also are going to be giving you a chance to win. I'm going to tell you a little bit later how you can get in on that action with a chance to win something major as the little ones head back out to school this September. All right, so every week we get an opportunity to speak with the Human Resources Management Association of Barbados and hear a little bit about what they're up to, but they also really just take care of a lot of matters to do with what's happening with not only employees, but employers. And it's always great to have the perspective of human resources professionals when we're talking about work and workers generally, particularly because of late we've been hearing a lot in the news about layoffs, particularly in the hospitality sector. And for a lot of people, I know it's challenging, especially at this time of year. You're getting ready to send the children back out to school, and all of a sudden we hear 200 people have been sent home. On top of that, in the news, there's much talk about people moving more toward technology. So we truly are in a technological revolution. There's much talk about AI and how people can be potentially replaced by machinery. So, you know, what do we do? How are we able to make ourselves ready to cope with what's happening and make ourselves competitive in a way that we can be retained where there's so much going on, and there are so many programs now that people can just pick up and do traditionally, if we're honest, what an administrative assistant used to do. Now I have apps on my phone that I can readily respond to your emails, readily write proposals, readily do all of that stuff that really came down to a lot of administrative work. So Nicholas Roberts is president of HERMAB, and we're going to talk a little bit about the HERMAB Conference 2024. We are looking a lot at human and tech. So good to have you with us. Welcome back.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. What about you?
I'm good.
You've been hiding from us for a minute. Yes, we enjoyed all of the other people who came, of course, but it's always great to see you.
Yeah, it's always good to see you.
All right, so the state of human resources, the state of what's happening in workplaces, there's a lot.
A lot is going on. Yeah. So in terms of, yes, you mentioned that there's social unrest in Barbados, as we like to term it, in terms of, I know there's recent news in terms of layoffs at a major hotel in Barbados. We've recently been talking in terms of technology. On the global stage, we're also looking at in terms of how it is that we're bridging technology and we're bridging the needs of businesses, and then bring what I do at the heart of it, how human resources practitioners play a role in this. So yeah, a lot has been going on, a lot to discuss this morning.
All right, so where do we start? Let's look at how people can upskill or keep themselves kind of in step with what's going on across the globe. There may be some people, I know a lot of people kind of shrink when it comes to talking about technology. So a lot of people say with pride, oh, I can barely use my phone. The children can do it better than I can. You know, almost wear that like a badge of honor. I have a friend who still says, you know, I don't use the machines. So where do you go when that's the way the world is going in, and in particular the work world, and you're in a place where you might not be as savvy as you need to be?
I think you need to understand where people are and meet people where they're at. And I think also the biggest part of it is that a lot of people are afraid of the technology because they understand that, quite frankly, the machines and the AI and the technology can do things better than we can do as humans. I was discussing with a colleague up to this week that, you know, that a machine literally can do something in a nanosecond that it takes us sometimes years to learn and to do. So people probably realize that, you know what, I don't like using technology because it can do something that I can do 10 times better or even more. And it makes people a bit uncomfortable, and even bring it even more so home. I was in the credit union last week. I went to collect my credit union card, and I was talking to an older gentleman, and he was telling me, I don't like using them machine things. And in his mind is because when he puts his card in the machine, he doesn't know where the card is going. Using the machine is a bit, you know, intimidating for him. So, you know, we may smile and we may giggle at something as simple as using an ATM machine, but there are persons within the society, mature persons, and even younger persons that, you know, that technology and everything that comes with it makes them a bit uncomfortable because of the realities of what it brings for us as human beings, both in a professional sense and within our personal lives.
I remember, I'm old enough to remember when people were moving away from, or the banks were phasing out the use of the little red book in the bank where you kind of had to write in it, and moving more toward the ATM cards. And I remember conversations, particularly on the call-in programs, being, you know, people were like, how do I know what's on my card? How do I check? So to be able to even grasp that a few years ago, it was challenging. We've now moved to a place where I think people generally understand, you know, you have to use ATM cards. Outside of that, there are still some people who are insistent in going in. But the way of the world generally is toward technology, is toward that digital space, even with digital money. Talk to me a little bit about the tech conference that's coming up and how this will seek to tackle what's happening by kind of bridging the gap, getting people in a space where they're thinking in a very future forward way, while still kind of maintaining the status quo, which is what you still need to do to keep your job in a number of ways. Because until your company or another company you move to is doing those things, you probably still won't need the skill set, but you have to develop it at the pace that the world is going as well.
So everything Hermab has done over the last year and a half since they took over the presidency has been intentional. So in terms of, if you look back, the type of topics that we've discussed on this program, whether it's whether it is my vice president, whether it's any of our strategic partners that have come on and have represented the association or worked with the association, we've talked about something leaning either directly to AI technology within the human capital space. And the reason for that is because once again, we look at the global sphere, what is going on in terms of work, what is going on in terms of business. You have to look at bridging the two. There's no two ways about it. So a lot of people have still the very humanist approach in terms of we don't need the technology. Humans are the ones that should solely be within the workplace. And then we have people that are on the other side of the spectrum that believe that, you know what, maybe we need to replace the majority of people within the workplace and use robots and use AI and use technology. But I, as a human resources practitioner, and people that are forward thinking and right thinking, we know that we have to work in tandem with the technology, not just within the workspace, within our personal lives. So I always like to make things very relatable. Even within your home space, you can go on Amazon and you can buy something as simple as a bot to vacuum your home for you. Once upon a time, you could hire a cleaner to come in and do that for you. So that is a job that has been displaced, because literally you can buy a bot for X amount of dollars from Amazon or wherever, and the bot can come in and it has the technology built into it that it can go into different spaces within your home. It knows where steps are. It knows what area of your house that you want cleaned, how you want it to be cleaned, etc., etc. So bringing it back into what we're looking to do with this Human Tech Expo on October 9th to 10th, we're looking to see how it is that we can bridge the divide between the two. How is it that, yes, humans can be displaced, but as opposed to displacing humans, what jobs should we keep and what jobs should be done by technology, should be done by a bot, should be done by AI? Because I think within the Caribbean, we need to take a very socialist and a very humanist approach, because the reality is that, as I mentioned earlier on in our conversation, there are a lot of jobs and there are a lot of roles that can be done by the bots better than us. But we as a society have to then determine what is it that can be utilized or can be done better by the bots, and then what are the jobs that we're going to retain with human beings doing those jobs and those roles and those functions.
All right, that's a very interesting perspective. I'm going to double back to something else you said a little earlier, but what are some of the specific topics that you're going to be tackling at the conference that are going to be in line with what you hope to accomplish?
So far we released 3 of our keynote speakers. I don't want to jump too much over the bag because we have about 13 other conference speakers, but we have Marsha Lewis, who is going to talk about how it is that we should be using a human-centric approach in terms of AI and change. She's a change management specialist. Shout out to Marsha. She's actually one of my old bosses. She's going to come in and she's going to talk about when we're making change within workspaces and within work environments, how is it that we have to bring the human at heart in terms of when we're making change initiatives and transformation. We have Leslie Lafouque. He is from Trinidad and Tobago. He's also going to look at it from an AI perspective. He's an AI guru, and he's going to look at how it is that, yes, when it is that we bring AI into the workspace, how are we utilizing AI to get the most efficiencies out of our business spaces. And then the final keynote speaker is Miss Jennifer Leclerc. She is the president of Disrupt HR International and Global. And she's also going to take a human-centric approach from what we should be looking at and how we should be utilizing human capital within the workspace. Once again, bridging that divide between people and AI within our businesses to get the best out of our outputs.
I know that what we're looking at, what you'll be looking at the conference is centered squarely around, what we talked about, tech and so on. But it's also going to be important for you guys to cover the other topics, and I know that you will as well. A lot of what we call the basics, what human resources officers and managers have to kind of deal with every day. What are some of these other topics that you're going to look at when you're talking about really managing human capital?
So I'm glad that you said that, because I think I've talked about that. People also don't still understand within a 2024 age or a 21st century age, what is human resources practitioners do. So not trying to bore people, because I know HR is not sexy to some people, but when you look at the sphere and the gamut of HR, benefits administration, human capital change management, when you look at business process reengineering, when you look at strategic change management, when you look at once again, bridging AI and HR within your workspaces, those are some of the topics that we're going to look at. And then when you make it core and central to HR, our HR specific topics, How is it that you're performance managing your employees? We've discussed this many different times. People that have been leading or managing for many years find it very, very difficult to have difficult conversations within business spaces. Sometimes it is even difficult for HR practitioners to have difficult conversations within businesses because the type of environments that they operate within. So performance management is still a very, very topical, and it will continue to be a very topical theme or area within HR, because you need to understand how it is that you need to manage people, but not only manage people, give constructive criticism in order to coach and guide them to do better. So performance management is going to be a big topic within the conference. We're also going to look at in terms of how it is that when it is that you bring HR people within your workspace, how do you have HR people that are looking at finding a humanistic or a socialist perspective to HR, because I think a lot of the times HR people are pulled in many different directions. Sometimes you have business leaders telling them, oh no, you're supposed to be for the business, whereas employees are thinking you're supposed to be for us. So how is it that I'm a HR practitioner working for your business, how is it that I stay within the middle of the ground and that I guide your business the best way as possible, understanding the industry that I work in, understand the sector that I work in, and advise you from the best standpoint and perspective as best as I can. So I think there are many, many different topics that are going to be discussed, but I think the key ones, core to HR, would be performance management, change management, and then taking the strategic standpoint of HR in terms of looking at what a business does, because what I do in tourism as an HR practitioner is going to be totally different from what I do as a HR practitioner working in a construction business. So you need to understand your business. So taking the strategic perspective from HR or towards HR is going to be very, very important. So giving our practitioners those tools to work with any sector, within any sector, is going to be very, very important.
What about the changing face of HR itself? Because, as you mentioned, the profession has changed. The scope of what you do, what is expected of you, what's needed from employees, it has changed drastically in the last couple of years. Again, I've been around to see it move from really the personnel section or the personnel department to human resources, to all types of fancy names that we hear about now, people management and all of this. So what will you do to kind of tackle the profession itself and to ensure that the profession, you know, stays important to the business environment, given what AI systems can now do?
So I think it is important for us to first of all understand what is HR. The crux of it, we need to get down to that. What is HR, especially bringing AI into the workspace? Human resources, at the heart of it, is dealing with the management of people to get the most outcomes of those people to achieve the business outcomes. That is what any HR textbook is going to tell you what human resources is. Bringing what I always like to say, the humanist or the socialist approach to HR is that you look and realize that HR is a very touch and feel type of role, or touch and feel type of strategic position that you should have within your business. And the reason that I keep saying strategic and I keep saying touch and feel is because I don't want people or HR practitioners to think that because AI is coming into the workspace that we need to take away the touch and feel aspects of the business. Once upon a time, a HR person would go into a business, their role would be to come in, oh, you good? Yeah, you good? You need, you find out from business practitioners, do you need to fire this person? Yeah, I'm going to fire you. But no, that's not what the role is now. What HR is in 2024 and beyond is, okay, what type of business are you running? What is it that you need from your people? How are you hiring those people in the correct way? How are you training those people? I, as an HR practitioner, need to understand how it is that when AI and technology come into my workspace, how is it going to displace people? Those people that are being displaced, how are we going to train up the people that are remaining within the business to fill those gaps? So it is understanding what it is that the business requires, training our HR practitioners to meet those gaps, training the people to meet the needs of the business, and then once again understanding what it is that the roles that AI can do and what are the roles that your people can do. and working with the business to meld the two. And it's going to be a very gentle balance, because there's so much that comes with that on a day-to-day basis, that aside from understanding the strategic needs of a business, that you still once again have to have the touch and feel, because people are dealing with everyday problems. They always say that when people come into a workspace, they bring any issue that they have. So if it is that you are not, let's say that you know that, for instance, you have an ailing parent at home, when you come into the workspace, you're not going to be necessarily thinking 100% about the work that you have to do. You're going to be bringing that with you. So then how are we providing, as an example, EAP programs to assist people with the personal issues that they're having? So I don't want it to be a case that that we as HR practitioners look to be just strategic. Yes, being strategic is very important, but at the end of the day, the heart of what we do is about people. So how are we servicing the needs of the people through understanding the needs of the business?
EAP, employee assistance programs,
yes.
just to make sure that everybody's kind of on board with us with that. All very, very important to be able to get us where we need to go in terms of HR. You mentioned a little bit earlier about some maybe older HR professionals not feeling comfortable with those difficult conversations. And now we know, we've seen online, we've seen so many companies that have kind of come under fire for bringing technology into the process of even, getting rid of your employees. So how do you strike that delicate balance where you might be able to use technology in some ways to foster those difficult conversations, but you don't get it to the place where you feel like this is an episode of RoboCop? Yeah? I think that is important as well, because these days we have people who are really blowing up the internet about being fired online as opposed to in person, or getting simply some correspondence and messages. So how do we strike the balance?
I am so happy that you brought that up, because I think something that us as HR practitioners are skirting around is that we as HR practitioners can be displaced, because even if you look at technology, what we do in terms of from recruitment right down to the very end of exiting people out of an organization, businesses are utilizing technology to do that. So from the very, very beginning, in terms of how you hire your people, there are actually bots that can scourge the internet. Using LinkedIn as an example, you have bots that can be searching for whatever candidate that the organization is looking for, pull those candidates into a talent pool, distill those people, push the shortlisted candidates to the business, and from there, then the persons can have a totally contactless or personless interviews process. There's no HR person in there, there's no talent person in there. They're recruited then, and once they're onboarded, all of their paperwork is paperless. Once again, there's not a human inside there, and then they're in the business. So HR persons can be people that can be and will be displaced by technology based on the way that the business is going. So then we now have to show our value, as in terms of, yes, you can do this, yes, the bots can do this, but how is it that we as people, what do we bring to the business that is different that a bot may be able to do in terms of that touch and feel aspect of HR?
And even beyond that, we know where we have been for a few years now, people who obviously stay in step with what's happening with and there are ways to be able to beat the bots. There are ways to be able to beat the tech that is out there to search for what is needed, because basically it comes down to keywords. So, these bots are looking for keywords based on what's written in these job applications that are posted. And as long as you get as many keywords in there as possible, or you meet certain planks in the qualifications,
you can be pulled on and shortlisted, correct?
Are shortlisted. So there are people who absolutely know how to beat these systems already. After all, it's people who are building these systems.
Correct. And that is where human resources practitioners come into play, because I always say, that a human resources practitioner is worth their salt when they're doing an interview with you, and they're not just asking questions from 1 to 10 as a check the box exercise. They're asking you probing questions, because let's say, for an example, I'm having an interview with you and you say to me, I'm a people person, but then somewhere down the line in the interview you say to me, I hate interacting with people. People give tells in interviews that they don't know, because when people become comfortable, they tell you everything. If it is that a bot is doing that, if it is that you're providing the bot with the keywords that it's looking for, the person is going to be shortlisted, and they could go through the entire interview process. Reference checks could be done by this bot, and you don't have a person in there that is looking for telltale signs to maybe realize that, you know what, this person may not necessarily be the best candidate. On paper, they may look like the best candidate, but in reality, they are not. So bringing it back home, this is where us as HR practitioners need to show where we are worth our salt. And once again, what is it that we can use the technology to do to make our jobs easier, to remove some of the redundancies and the inefficient tasks within the process, and to assist us to speed up the process. Once again, just using recruitment as an example, but yet still using people and HR practitioners and seasoned talent practitioners to see how it is that we can source the right talent for a role. Because if it is that someone is understand how they can beat the system, and you can beat the system too if you're interacting with a person, because you may tell someone what they want to hear, but if an HR practitioner is worth their salt, they're really going to be listening to what you're telling them, and when they're doing their reference checks, they're going to be looking for signs in terms of if you really are the person or the right fit for this job. And then they can realize and they can advise rather the business on, if you know what, John Brown may not necessarily be the best person for this job based on some conversations that I had with their previous employer. But if a bot is handling that, the bot may just be looking for, a keyword or whatever the case may be. The person is pushed through the process, they get the job, and then they may not necessarily be the right fit for the position.
Okay, is the conference open to only HR professionals?
No, the conference is open to any single person in Barbados and beyond. If it is that you have an interest in AI, if you have an interest in HR, if you have an interest in business, if you have an interest in where the world of work is going, the conference is open to you. It's being held October 9th to 10th at the Wyndham Grand Resort in St. Philip. You can check out the prices on our website, www.hrmab.org.bb. You can also check out our social media pages for all of the information as well in terms of to register. Tickets are available via ticketlinks.com.
All right, good stuff. You definitely should check it out. And I probably will be there.
I hope so.
Definitely a keen interest of mine, particularly in our area of business. But there are so many things that we have to discuss. I don't know how we're going to get through it going from, week to week. And tackling it, maybe we need to look at a program that kind of tackles that specifically. That's something that we could talk about when we get off air, to be able to engage with the public a whole lot more and explore many of the other topics that happen. But I'd like to put this out there for you, even as we move toward the conference. When you come back, I would like for us to, and if you can bring someone as well, work toward working with people to kind of beef up their offering. I know a lot of people are in the market for work and stuff like that. So to be able to help people in that way, I think is very, very important.
Definitely.
Thank you as always, Nicholas.
Thank you for having me.
Wonderful to see you. Like I said, the president with the most, Nicholas Roberts, president of the Human Resources Management Association of Barbados. Just past 7 o'clock, we have the news coming your way. Do stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. It's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis.
Morning, morning, good morning, good morning to you.
Just about 4 minutes now after 7 o'clock, it's time for an update of the news. The Barbados Workers Union is calling out the Wyndham Grand Barbados Resort, Sam Lord's Castle, for reportedly laying off scores of employees. The union is questioning the motive behind the move at this time, despite positive projections for the industry. However, the hotel has defended the action. Our Sharika Griffith is following that story.
The Barbados Workers Union says as many as 150 Wyndham Grand Barbados employees could soon be on the breadline. The figure has been disputed by the hotel. However, according to a statement from the union, the company has blamed the action on low occupancy rates and the need to streamline operations. But BWU General Secretary Tony Moore says this contradicts recent statements made by the president of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Javon Griffith.
Griffith reported that, I quote, early forward bookings from major source markets are exceeding 2023 by 18%, and that from January to June 2024, the island welcomed 381,997 stay-over arrivals, a 15% increase compared to the same period in 2023. So who are we to believe? On the one hand, we have the governing body for hotels painting a rosy picture for the coming months, and on the other hand, two major hotels, Sandals and now Wyndham Grand Barbados, claiming such dire financial straits that they must dismiss hundreds of hard-working Barbadian citizens.
Ms. Moore alleges that workers had recently been assured there would be reduced hours, but no layoffs.
They agreed, enduring the hardship of reduced paychecks, only to be blindsided and betrayed with sudden redundancies without warning. The way these redundancies were conducted, in fact, reveals a shocking lack of empathy and a blatant disregard for basic decency. Imagine workers were not only dismissed without adequate notice, but were humiliated in the process, forced to return their uniforms, and followed out by security as if they were criminals.
But in a further development, the resort is denying the scale of terminations, noting only 35 of the more than 400 employees had been given their walking papers. CBC obtained a copy of the letter. Public relations consultant Joyanne Haig explained why the hotel decided to take the action.
We're not in the tourist season. That starts in December. So the numbers obviously are low, in keeping with what we're seeing right across the board of most of the hotels, and that is the reason then for the termination. We're hoping then, once the numbers improve for the season, individuals, as stated in the letter, will have an opportunity to reapply.
She also responds to the union's charge that workers had previously been assured they would not be laid off.
That meeting that took place a few weeks ago, it said that this is what will happen. We will look at reducing the hours. If, in fact, the numbers of the hotel remain the same, or should I say even become lower, then other measures may have to be put in place in order to reduce the payroll, and that was what was said. But it wasn't written in stone that this is the only thing that we will do. We said this is what we are going to do, and we're going to carry it for as long as we possibly could.
Ms. Haig says at this stage, further layoffs are not anticipated, but acknowledges the situation depends on the trends in occupancy levels. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
The local arts sector is expected to benefit from the launch of the United International Arts Expo 2024 Festival. At a press conference at O2 Beach Club, the media was told there will be a range of activities at the event, which are all developmental in nature. The preservation of cultural heritage, especially the performing arts, will play a major role. Founder of the festival, Carlos Cobham, intends to help open up avenues for local artists as well. One of the main activities will be the Walk for the Arts on Saturday, September 7th from 6 a.m. in Warrens near the BTMI building, and it will end at the Botanical Gardens. The festival has been endorsed by President of BACA, Sean Apache Carter. It was celebration time yesterday at the Grantley Adams International Airport as the triumphant Barbados under-17 team returned home from the Cricket West Indies Rising Stars Championship in Trinidad and Tobago. The Signia Globe Financial Inc. Barbados side retained the regional two-day title following another dominant performance, but narrowly missed out on completing the double after rain forced their must-win 50 overs match against the hosts to be abandoned. Trinidad finished on 20.2 points. Barbados were second on 17.6 and Guyana third with 14.4 points. Coaches Dexter Toppin and Nemo Wynn commended players on their consistency.
In a tournament where that you won last year and to come back this year, it's always going to be difficult. So I'm very pleased with the boys, and I give the boys all the credit. They had to start with preparation. And I think the boys really went through their drills and the preparation very well. And then when we get to Trinidad, we planned for the competition very well also. The boys really adhere to the call. And I think that at the end of the day, the future is very bright for Barbados cricket. There's one or two things that we need to do as far as these boys is concerned. Not only these boys, but we could look at the under-19s one this year, the under-15s, and now the under-17 one again this year. This is very good for Barbados cricket, but there's still one or two things, maybe we need to look at. And once we could get these things in place, I think that Barbados cricket would really stand the course, and it was always dominant in regional cricket.
They were an easy group to deal with, they're coachable, and the discipline on and off the field, was extremely well.
Captain Joshua Dorn says team spirit was vital to their success.
The team played really hard cricket over the 3 weeks that we were there, both competitions. The rain was a bit sickening at some points, and really wanted the cricket to play, but things out of our control, so we just stick to what we could control. Obviously, you have some good guys, but most of the fellas play for Barbados Youth in the local tournament, so it wasn't really hard for the guys to really blend in and get to know each other, because we have played with each other for a long while, so we have known each other and stuff like that. So it wasn't really hard.
Justin Paris took 6 wickets as Nichols Baking Combermere dominated Christchurch Foundation on day 1 of their BCA Under-15 semi-final match at Briar Hall. Sent into bat, Foundation were bowled out for 106 and 40 overs. Paris snapped up 6 for 18, while Asher Branford took top scored with 26. In their reply, Combermere will resume on 81 for 1, trailing by 25 runs. Paris is not out on 37. Meanwhile, in the other semi-final at Lears, the bowlers dominated the first innings. Jaden Payne and Jatari Hines took 3 wickets apiece as St. Leonard's boys bowled out Milo Lodge for just 49 runs. Payne finished with 3 for 1 and Hines 3 for 12. In reply, St. Leonard's were bowled out for just 70 with a lead of 21 runs. Shawniko Sargent snapped up 6 for 23 and Jaden Bell 4 for 3. Batting a second time, the Lodge are 74 for 3 in their second innings. That's an overall lead of 53 runs. And of course, that all continues. Just about 13 minutes now after 7. Morning Barbados continues after this. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome back on this Wednesday. I hope you're having a good day today. No rain in sight today, I think. You'd have to tell me if it's raining outside. But certainly when we came in this morning, it was, nice and crisp. And a little air seems to be returning to the country. I know it's been very, very hot. So you want to make sure that you get your frequent water breaks as well. We hear so much about what dehydration can do to our bodies. Make sure that you don't wait until you're thirsty to be able to grab a drink of water. And don't just drink soft drinks and so on all day long. It's important to make sure you take care of that. Now, we have a very important lady joining us at this time to talk a little bit about her career, or, see the back of the career. Because I know a lot of people who are retired, they're really happy to be able to just relax a little bit. She came into the Barbados Postal Service all the way back in September of 1986. And here she is sitting with us, former postmistress of the Barbados Post Office, Jacqueline Sobers Hollingsworth. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Barbados. Good morning, Tisha. Good morning, Postal family.
And someone said you're 60. I don't know where that is.
Yes, 60 and proud.
I don't believe it. But, we'll have to work on that. September 1986. Tell me how you got into the profession. Of course, you started as a counter clerk. What did that entail back then?
Well, I attended the St. Clement's Primary School. Then I later went to secondary school, the best secondary school in the island. It was then called the St. Lucie Secondary School. And it's most fittingly called now the Darrell Jordan Secondary School. And that's where I gained my education. That's where I gained, those qualities of every talent to greatest use. And that's how that molded me into the type of person that I am today. I also had a strong mother that believed in hard work. You can stay in her home. Every morning she would bang at your door, 5 o'clock, get up out of my house and go to work. So I had strong, building experiences. And on leaving school, I joined the postal family in 1986. I started in the registration branch in the sorting office. From there, I quickly moved to the accounts branch, the payroll section, the non-postal section. And from there, I quickly moved to the counter services at the General Post Office. And then later on, I find myself, you were temporary then, and you had to fit in with those that were long sick leave or going on vacation. So I ended up at the St. Lucie, St. Peter, St. James, St. Andrew, Eagle Hall, West Terrace, all over the place. Punko, all over the place. And that was a learning experience. I met a lot of friends, come to know most of the staff and the customers. I met a lot of customers that we have remained friends throughout the years.
Wow, that's really interesting stuff. I remember being very little, and my mother always had lots of relatives, including her mom, who did not live in Barbados. Mm-hmm. So Sunday was the day for letter writing.
Written letter writing.
My sister, the one who's just older than I am, Cynthia, and I would have to go drop the letters in the mailbox. Of course, the mailbox was out by St. Stephen's Churchyard, and she used to frighten me every Sunday. Good morning, Cynthia. She was mean when it came to that stuff. But the place that letter writing and things like that held in people's lives has changed over the years.
Yes.
So talk to me about your work in the Postal Service and how you were kind of able to cope with the changes throughout time, because it changed pretty quickly once computers came into the equation.
Yes. Postals do not like change, but change is good. And I've been in the post office where they have moved from 2 deliveries from the postman to 1 delivery. They have introduced the express service. They have introduced technology has come. But I find technology does not replace that actual physical letter that you held in your hand, the joy of opening it and reading it, and keeping it. And letter writing, to me, is still one of the best ways for me. It brings a sense of pleasure to me and to anyone that received letters during those formative years. right now we have moved into email and WhatsApp messaging, but you know, it still has a place, but we still look forward to letter writing. We have moved to different letter carriers, but you know what? The General Post Office, DHL, FedEx can never touch the post office and its delivery system. Why? FedEx and DHL may only have a few persons across the island, but tell you what, the General Post Office, we have a cadre of postmen that deliver every day to every house by name, by address, by the color of the house, track, gap, road, heights, terrace, you name it. And people look forward for the postman. They call, I haven't seen my postman today, but guess what? We have moved from where the postman is actually walking up your steps, flights of stairs, pushing your mail through the window or door, you know, any available space that is open. And guess what? Government has made it legal that there's a box now on every home where the postman can deliver the mail effectively.
I must tell you though, that's a little bittersweet. I would have preferred if I had a mailbox when I was looking forward to receiving actual letters. Now it's just bills.
No one likes the bills. But you know what? The bills comes with for the joy of receiving mail.
Yeah, I mean, like when I go to clear the mails, I'm like, must I?
Yeah. And I'm saying too, I told the postman, now that I'm retired, please don't bring any more bills.
All right, so what you did is you actually wrote a letter.
Yes, I did.
To your postal family, and you used, you know, all the traditions that you came up with. Tell us more about that.
Yes. On the eve of my return, the 30th of August, Friday, was my last day on the job. So I wanted to say some things to my postal family. No, I'm not going away. I'm still a postal worker, always will be. And I wanted to, you know, say some things to them to encourage them. And the post office is not dead at all. People say, it's so done away with the post office. But how can we? The post office is the heart of every community. Just like you, we are the heart of every community in Barbados.
You said just like you or just like
just
Q?
Like you.
I know you said
yes.
Q, but that's what I said. Just like you or just like you?
just like me or just like you. We are the heart of every heartbeat in the community.
I'm just being bad. I want to hear what's in the letter.
Okay, so on the retirement that they held for me, right? The postman actually delivered this mail to me.
At the event?
Yes, at the event. I had it fit that they would deliver this post.
What are all these stamps? Because I don't get all these stamps on my mail.
You don't. It's only if your mail is like opened or soiled or damaged that you will see these stamps telling you that this is how we received them from wherever country they were coming from. And if the postman has delivered your mail and he, for some reason or the other, he cannot find you, this yellow stamp will go on claim. If the person is deceased, if the person has refused it, if they are unknown at the address, you know, no such address, and they have moved and have left no address. These are what will be placed on the letter.
Go on.
Yes.
Understood.
So we open our letter, and this is the actual letter.
Handwritten.
Handwritten, if you please.
Oh, wow.
And I call it Lessons from a Letter.
That's a dying art.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. So we're going to bring it back to life. And all letters, you know, it starts with a salutation or a greeting. I don't know if you wrote letters, but you always start with dear so-and-so. But I have started mine, dear postal family. And, you know, always have a greeting. I greet you in the wonderful name of Jesus. How are you doing? This letter leaves me in relatively good health. A sense of joy mixed with a tinge of sadness. Joy to reach this destination called retirement, and sadness to be leaving friends and colleagues like you. I am writing this letter to remind you that all mail is important and have to be delivered. Postal staff, you are important to the organization, and you have to deliver a service that is vital to the sustainability of this great institution. First class mail, you know, we have first class mail, second class mail, but we have done away more or less with the second class mail, only first class mail. And you know what? First class mail should not be handled or carried by second class workers, full stop. Have pride and see yourself as first class workers. Postal workers who knows every person that resides in Barbados, by name, by address, by house, its color, every gap and track, terrace, heights, etc. We must not only be first class in delivery of services, we must be first class in our commitment and dedication to the job. First class in manners and respect to the public we serve and to each other. The letter or mail, as you know, Keisha, cannot go anywhere without a stamp. A stamp has value. It is worth a price. What is your worth in the postal organization? Is it one of great value? Let us work together to sustain the rich legacy of the Barbados Postal Service. Let us stamp out the lateness and irregular attendances to work. Stamp out discord and disrespect. Refuse these two characteristics in the workplace. They will only damage the image of the post office. Stamp out favoritism. Stamp out personal attacks that hinders the harmonious working relationships in the workplace. Let our stamp impression be clear and legible. We are here to work together to get the post office job done. Mail is not only important, but private and confidential to our customers. The message or content on the inside is only for the person it is addressed to. We are the guardians of secrecy,
confidentiality.
We are the guardians of secrecy. We must be confidential to our customers. We are sworn to secrecy, not to divulge or speak or broadcast the business of our customers to anyone.
Not like us. Peter is applauding.
Thank you.
But this letter still has a few more pages. I don't know
if this is the last one.
This is the last page?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yet lately, we seem to destroy the image of the post office by broadcasting or delivering our business to social platforms, media, or Facebook, Twitter. There is a better way, a right way. Good communication, dialogue, and intervention should be our express service response in solving internal conflict and drama in the workplace. We can do better as a postal family. Let us work together in unity, love, and due care for one another. Let us treat each other the way we ourselves would want to be treated. Transformation is taking place in the post office. Let us too, as a people, be transformed in our attitudes and behaviors. Most times at the end of the letter, you will see two words, PS. PS stands for postscript. It comes from the Latin word postscriptum, which literally means written after. A postscript is an additional thought added to letters that comes after it has been completed. And the said PS is the most charming part of a letter. It is the wink you give as you walk away. So my PS to my postal family and my friends, like a stamp, I am stuck on you. I love all of you. God bless all of you. God bless the post office. Seal with love. And you know, all letters have a closing. Always a postal worker, Jacqueline Sobers Hollingsworth.
That's a beautiful letter.
Thank you.
Very beautiful letter that you wrote for them, as something that they most certainly can carry through. It has lots of nuggets of knowledge,
Thank you.
as we heard, but it's wonderful that you still consider yourself always a postal worker. And I know that the Postal Service really holds a place in our hearts, far greater than postal workers, as you mentioned, just coming in.
Yes.
Post office workers, our postmen, postwomen over the years have really come to be friends
Yes, there
to
are.
the neighborhood. My postman when I was young, his name was Smitty.
Yes, I know Smitty, yes.
And, he meant a great deal to us. And I know such is the case with a lot of others all over. So thank you so much, Jacqueline Sobers Hollingsworth.
Thank you.
Postmistress, just a few days out. I know that you have lots planned for the retirement. So
yes, I
Have
do.
to have you back. I'll probably write you a letter myself.
Oh, right? Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
All right,
thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in.
And it was a pleasure being here with you.
Absolutely. All right, time has moved on quickly. It's after the 7 o'clock hour, but we have much more coming up, so stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. It's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well,
morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 27 minutes now before the 8 o'clock hour. Time is going by quickly. Wonderful to have with us this morning Kay Cutting, who is a member of the fundraising committee of the Hawthorne Memorial Methodist Church. And also here, glad to be back at home, Lana Simmons-Rowe. Yeah. And she's also a member of the fundraising committee. Good morning to you, ladies.
Good morning, Tisha.
And thanks for waking up early to come in and share with us. Good stuff. So we're talking a little bit about an event that you have coming up. It's a concert, and it is aptly titled Redeemed. So let me start with you, Ms. Cutting. Tell me a little bit about this particular concert and why at this time.
Okay, this concert is called Redeemed, an end of summer concert. And if you think about the word redeem, it means to be saved, and it's like a celebration of the sacrifice of Jesus on the cross for us. So this time where we have so much troubles around the world, so much, you hear about wars and the violence and the stuff that is going on around, to give someone light. Our concert is a ministry, uplifting entertainment, to bring hope to our people who are maybe struggling, who may be depressed at this time.
All right,
Okay.
so all for a worthy cause.
All for a worthy
Now, I can
cause.
just imagine what the committee meetings look like, Lana, to be able to kind of pull this together once you determine, here's the theme, here's where we're going with it. Then you have to determine, how it plays out. So tell us a little bit about the shape it will take.
Well, for starters, we chose this time because, it is back to school time. And we thought that it would be a last minute time to relax before the children go back into school, all the rushing around and all that. So we thought now would be the perfect time, as it's the last Saturday before school, for, parents to come out and children, even who are transitioning, to come out and have a little relaxed evening with a lot of very good entertainment. Because as you can see from our lineup, we have excellent entertainment. I don't know how we will ever top it, but you can see that. We started with the police band, ending with Mr. Blood. And the entertainment in between there is phenomenal. So, this is like a can't miss concert. And now is the perfect time for it.
All right, good stuff, Ms. Cannon. I want you to delve a little deeper. She went from the police band to blood, but she didn't tell us what is in between.
I want you to know we're starting good and we're ending good.
So there really is no end. It's just the all-day
so
concert.
in between there it's just constant good entertainment, right? So that's why I didn't even have to fill in because we know you'll be there at the start and you'll stay until the end because it's going to be that good.
I can see the excitement on your face.
Girl.
Of course, it's coming up in a matter of weeks.
It's on the 14th of September, 5 p.m. at the Major Newt Hall, Cumberbury School. So we have, as Lana is saying, we have a very top-class line of entertainment, starting with the Barbados Police Force Band. You know that we know them for good quality performances. We have Jane Small, who's a beautiful soprano, and she's opera singing. She's very versatile. We have Nathan Richards. He's a talented musician, one of Barbados' fine tenor voices. We have the Bethel Chimers. This is a group of handbell performers. And we have Jonathan Nurse, a steel panist. Our own mass choir, comprising of our chorale, our choir, and our other men, will be performing as well. Jason Morris, who's a saxophonist in his own right, and he's a graduate of the BCC music program, and he would have also participated in the summer program at Berkeley School of College. And Gay Gajada, she's another accomplished soprano. We have Donella and Antonio. We know them in the calypso field, but they will also be using their voices to minister to our patrons on that evening. So that, and then, as Lana said, we end up with Mr. Blood, who needs no introduction, a very versatile performer, and I'm sure. So we will have a really good package on that evening.
Quite the lineup. I've noted that one of the names in your title of your committee is also fundraising, and I know it's important as a church to be able to raise funds to get things done. So talk to us about what this will mean, or support of this initiative will mean for the church.
Well, this fundraiser is for our outreach programs. We feed the homeless every second Sunday in every month. The lines are getting longer and the needs are getting bigger, pockets are getting smaller, so we have to find a way to maintain this. So we thought that one of the ways to do this is to do some fundraisers. This is our third for the year, well, third between November last year and now. And we also have a care fund that we also have, because there are people in the community with needs, and as a church you have to at least try to meet people's needs. So we have to come up with these ideas on how to raise money to keep these programs going, because they're so important. And all these artists that are performing for us, they're all doing it for free because they realize that it's a worthy cause and it's something, it's giving back. So kudos to all our performers. Nobody wants to be paid for anything, and that is so fantastic,
Yeah, it means a great deal. I mean, to be able to run a feeding program like this, people might not understand what goes into be able to make it happen. So tell us a little bit about how you're able to kind of coordinate this every other week to reach out to people in need.
So our members, we rely on our members a lot for donations, and we do the collections, and members of our church, they actually prepare the food and they go down and they would assist with the feeding of the homeless on the second Sunday as well.
All right, so we want to make sure that you come out September 14th at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
At the Major Newt Hall, Commonwealth School. Why did you pick Commonwealth School?
It can hold 400 people. And we want to fill this hall with 400 people. And we're only charging a low $50 because we want as many people as possible to come. When you look at our lineup, you see straight away this is an $80, $100 lineup. Yes, but you know, we want people to come. We want everybody to come. And we know that people are spending the money now with the back to school and things, so our pockets might be a little low. But we want you to come. We want you to be entertained. So we just charge a low $50. And for all this, Keisha, you know,
just a low $50,
Lana. A low Tisha. A low $50.
And it's all for a worthy cause, right?
Yes. You know, we really want people to be entertained also, you know, as to be giving back, you know, doing it for a good purpose.
Absolutely. That's important to be able to give back. It truly is a
Yes.
great feeling to feel like you're part of something bigger.
Yeah.
Particularly when we're helping people in our community.
We are.
And speaking about giving back, we want to say a big thank you to our sponsors because a concert of this size, we could not have done it without support from Corporate Barbados. And we want to salute our major sponsors, Sagicor, CIBC Caribbean Bank. Then we want to say a thank you to Jason Morris Productions, Little Arches Hotel, Corbin's Garage, Answer Financial, RLC and Company. We say thank you for your support in helping us to put this concert on.
Yes.
All right, truly excellent. Thank you both for coming in and sharing with us.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, welcome home, Lana.
Oh, it's so good to be back.
You're going back upstairs?
No, you know, driving coming in here was
many years.
I was saying, oh, this reminds me of all these years of driving up here, coming here, and I was heading upstairs, but now today I'm downstairs. You know, it was good. It's good to be home.
Muscle memory. And you're practically a part of the family too.
It's true.
I absolutely have to embarrass you and let everybody know that you're Pearson's sister.
Yes, I am. Thank you, Tisha. Trust Lana. Trust Lana to
once
do
I
it.
looked into the face, as they just would say, I was like, okay, I can see the resemblance.
Thank you.
Know?
Yeah.
So it's wonderful to have both of you with us talking about this all-important concert. The Hawthorne Memorial Methodist Church having a concert is coming off on September 14th, and it's going to be at the Commonwealth School Hall, the Major Newt Hall at Commonwealth School. It starts at 5 o'clock, not Bajan time. Be early, and particularly in that hall, you want to make sure you get a good seat. So get on in. If you can't make it, still buy a ticket.
Yeah. And you can get the tickets from CS Pharmacy in Bridgetown. You can get from A&B in Wildy, or you can get from our church office on Tuesdays and Fridays. So you have a few places that you can get them.
No
from.
excuses at all.
None
Make sure you
at
grab
all.
a few tickets,
None.
grab a few friends, and go on out. So featuring the Barbados Police Service Band and a host of other people. I'll take direction from Lana, ending with blood. So lots and lots to see and do. Yes. Come on out and support it just before the children go back out to school. So it's a wonderful way to just have a relaxing evening and support the community and the church at the same time. Thank you for your time, ladies.
Thank you, Tisha. Thank you.
All right, have a great day today.
Same to you.
And indeed to everybody at the church, the entire committee and all involved in pulling this together. The time is quickly going by. We just have a few more minutes left in today's program, but we have lots more coming, so stick around.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
As Barbados is very small and land is precious, what would you do to protect it and make it pretty?
What I would do to make Barbados pretty and protect it is to plant many trees and put up many signs saying to not litter.
I would consider building highways, apartments, and so we will have more land to build parks for our fun.
I would make sure they have a lot of green spaces full of trees, flowers, and bushes.
We need to plant more trees because trees release oxygen and take in carbon dioxide.
I would plant trees and flowers around Barbados and make sure no one dumps trash on empty lots. I would encourage people not to litter and also start cleanup crews to clean up the parts of Barbados.
I would start by planting trees, including fruit trees, and plants with colorful flowers.
My name is Alana Greenwich. I attend Bailey's Primary School.
Hello, my name is Jailer Isaiah Torres Short Barnett. I am a student of Bailey's Primary School. My name is Liam Ashby. I am 9 years old and I attend Wales Primary School.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome back to Morning Barbados. So this next story is one that will leave you feeling heart-filled. We have a young entrepreneur joining us right now to tell us all a bit more about his journey and all about how he got into developing his own product line. So we have to say a special good morning to Jesse Olton, who is owner of Jesse's Productions. Good morning to you, Jesse.
Good morning.
And Jesse has brought along Jara Mears, his sister, and his biggest supporter. Is that right?
Yes, please.
And his mom, Tara Mears, to be a part of this morning's presentation. So welcome to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so Jesse, you started as early as back in 2020, and you said that you determined back then that you wanted your own clothing line. So take us from when you decided this is what I want to do until you were able to kind of, how were you able to convince mom that she should support you in moving forward with this initiative?
Well, when I originally brought the idea to her, she said we could do it, but there was going to be some rules. Like, it would have to have a focus, which after a while was chosen to be on God. It was literacy, abundance, and faith. And since then, she has been my biggest supporter with my sister, and it has grown up very much.
So what are some of the things you wanted to be able to brand, for your particular business? I see you've brought along a backpack, for example, but where did the idea start? Was it just like T-shirts, or were you thinking complete clothes? Where was your mind then?
Well, it was basically on shirts, but then, like, in recent years, it started different things. Like, the bag was in working for a bit now, and they finally get it out. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Mom, talk to me about when Jessie came to you and said, hey, I want to have my own clothing line. What were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking, oh, wow. That was the initial thought. But then I recognized, this is a moving world and children were online. So they were singing different things. And initially his idea was based on something he was watching. So I said, okay, we got to make it on something that we believe in. And that's where we started with faith. And as the years passed, we included literacy and anti-violence, all the things that are very critical to what we need now in our Barbadian society.
All right, so I know for you, Jara, you help a lot, but a big part of what you do is support for Jesse. So tell me about, how you support your big brother.
Well, I support him by last year I made a design for the shirts.
Okay. So you're helping in more than moral support. They didn't give me the full story. You're You're part of the design team?
Yes, please.
Oh, that's beautiful. Tell me about the design you did.
Well, it was like had a lot of detail to it.
A lot of detail. I love that. What were you thinking, Jessie, when you saw Jera's design for your shirt?
Well, it was actually a good design. The colors had changed a bit, but altogether, it was actually really good. And if she could do that, she could do a lot of great things. The design she made was even better than the ones my mother made. And they did sell. And they sold a lot.
And they sold. That is excellent, Mom. So it really is a family affair in terms of getting it done. Talk to me about that move to be able to, move from T-shirts to other branding on other items as well.
Well, when we started with the T-shirts, but we recognized, okay, we are growing. We started outsourcing at first our designs. So we did the designs, but we needed someone to print them. Then we said, okay, we can do a little more. We started to print them ourselves. So we are fully operational. And when you start to open up that door of dreaming, then you go a bit more. So we did the T-shirts, we did hats, we did mugs. And our newest products would be My Ultimate Student Planner. Done by us, as well as the backpack. So once you walk through that door of possibility, then you go a little further, and that's where we are today.
Beautiful. Tell me about the student planner, Jessie.
Well, the student planner was created by my mother, and it was actually inspired by a friend who pitched the idea to us, and we really liked it, so we decided we were going to do it. And the planner helps a lot. It helps you keep on track with schoolwork. It helps you keep a healthy diet because you can write down your meals and things so. It helps you document how your day was, what you're going to do tomorrow, and basically how you organize your life, especially during
that's beautiful.
school.
I love that. And I'm sure it can work for lots of students to be able to do just that. So beautiful stuff. I see you have a backpack here, and it has all the themes of what you're working toward: anti-violence, literacy, faith, and branded, of course, with your signature Jessie's production. How does it make you feel to be able to see that your idea just a few years ago has come to fruition in this way, in such a tangible way that you can see, all the things that you wanted to do coming to life?
I feel really ecstatic. One of the things me and my mother learned recently is some backpacks have the motto of rebellion, and a lot of children wear it. So we thought, what if we have something about Christ that children can wear to school, and it will help them be better as individuals.
I love that. Words are powerful. Words are powerful indeed. I know that you've worked with a number of organizations over the years, Tara, as well.
Yes. We made sure that in building the brand that, Jesse was making sure that he's making a positive change. And in so doing, he would have made donations to his previous school, because he now set the common entrance. So he would have made donations to his school.
Which school was that?
Charles F. Brown.
Okay.
So they have a special unit. So he did stickers with his brand, and he made that donation to the school. We would have also worked with the Barbados Down Syndrome Association, and we would have designed T-shirts for them, and we gave them partial proceeds. So for those who want to make donations, donate to the official body when it comes to the Barbados Down Syndrome Association, because they're doing good work. So we make sure that we are part of what is going on in Barbados, and the change that is going to come, we believe it has to begin with us.
Absolutely. Jera, what's your favorite thing of all the things that you guys have been working on? The bag, the planner, the T-shirts. Do you have a favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
The hats.
The hats. Have you been wearing hats as well? Are the hats the size for you, or are some of them oversized?
There's a size for me and for other kids like me, but mine does not have the logo on it yet.
All right, so we're waiting to print the logo on the hats. What are some of the other things, Jessie? Because I thought I was seeing everything here in the planner and the T-shirts. What else are you working on?
We also have mugs and, as Jared said, the hats. And if you go on my website, there's a way more variety of things, like onesies, just a lot of different things altogether.
All right, that's beautiful stuff. Now, talk to me about that website, Mom, because I know this started with Jessie, but it has now taken on a different face, and I know it must take a lot of effort from you.
It does. It does. I'm so happy that he's getting to the age now that he can assist me, because children are very technological. So he assists me with those designs, but the website is www.jessiesproductions.com. And with the view of going worldwide, thinking even bigger than Barbados, we implemented the website. And there, as he said, you can find a wide range of products for those who are living abroad. They can go on the website, they can make their purchases, and they can have JPro products right in their homes from wherever you are.
I love it, and I love that it's a positive message. I love it's kind of student-centered as well. So you're heading off to college in a matter of days. Are you excited?
Yes, please.
What have you heard about Harrison College?
Well, I have heard that it is a pretty good school. I know that I have to work very hard, but I am really looking forward to it.
All right. Well, good stuff. I look forward to seeing you somewhere around, and I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot more about Jessie and all the work you're doing. And you too, Jara. Yeah, continue helping and supporting your brother. All right?
Okay.
Congrats to you too, Mom.
Thank you
because
so much.
We hear of so many children who have really great ideas, and it's so easy to say, oh, that's just something you saw on TV, but you worked with him to make this happen, and that is an amazing trait. So congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
And this is a great looking bag, people. If you have not bought school bags as yet, grab a planner for your little one and grab one of those. Hey, well, that's it for us from today, from us for today. Coming up tomorrow, we're going to tell you a little bit about the highlights from Anime Con, the cosplay competition as well. So tell you what, we're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we wrap today's show. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say, Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, well, thanks for joining us today. Do tune in tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning.